Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, or otherwise strange content. I'm so excited because we have Travis Gilbert back on the channel.
So great to be here.
I know you haven't seen this movie yet that we're about to talk about.
I haven't seen this movie. I've been bullied a lot by everyone every time I say I haven't seen the movie. So I'm really glad to finally escape that by watching today.
This movie is a cult classic. People have very strong opinions about this movie. And it's like the last time you were on the channel, we talked about The Last Airbender, which is just a bad movie.
Traumatically bad, yes.
It's traumatically bad. This is not a bad movie. It's just a really weird movie. And it's traumatizing for different reasons. It's just like nightmare fuel.
Very, very excited.
Let's get into it. I haven't seen this movie in a second, but I remember seeing it and liking it and also being terrified of it as a full adult.
I thought you were saying you're terrified of it as a kid, as an adult. Oh.
No, I mean, I watched it a year ago and it terrified me.
Oh.
If you have a thing with, puppets being scary, this is definitely a terrifying movie.
I don't think I do, but we'll see.
Jim Henson made 3 movies that were, nightmare fuel for children. It was this, it was Dark Crystal, and it was Return to Oz. All in that, same span of time.
Huh. I don't think I've seen any of those. I've definitely heard of Dark Crystal, though.
Yeah, Dark Crystal is also a trip. I forgot this whole title sequence with the random owl.
What year did this come out?
1986.
Oh, I was gonna say it's very 80s.
Very much, entrenched in the 80s.
It's only forever.
Oh, God.
Yeah, how do you feel about David Bowie music? Because that's also a big thing.
I think David Bowie is good. I don't know. The voice surprised me for a minute. For some reason, I thought it was just a really strong instrumental song, and it ended up being more.
Yeah, this song sounds like 1986, if 1986 was a song.
Life can't be easy.
Do you know the channel CinemaSins?
Yes.
He would be freaking out at the length of this intro credit scene.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't mean to be, super nitpicky, but this is just, it's a lot of credits for the very beginning.
It really is. This would never get made today because we would just never make it through this long credit scene.
No, all of our attention spans, including mine, are destroyed by TikTok, so it's
This is produced by George Lucas?
It was! I didn't know that.
Interesting.
I have fought my way here to the castle beyond the Goblin City to take back the child that you have stolen.
And the owl that she's chasing down is just look, lady, I just...
That is the weirdest intro sequence I've ever seen. Who is this to? Is she reciting Shakespeare?
Oh, Merlin.
I like that the dog's name is Merlin.
I don't believe it. It's 7 o'clock. Come on. Come on.
I like that she's running through a field in the dress, but she's got jeans on under the dress.
Yeah.
It's very practical thinking.
Oh, it's not fair. Oh, really? I'm sorry.
Well, don't stand there in the rain. Come on.
Yeah, this character spends a lot of time running from point A to point B, talking about how nothing is fair.
I was just gonna say that, after all of this running, what is the unfair thing that happened?
Oh, it's not fair.
I guess the rain, she wanted the rain to hold off for her, but it's come on.
Sarah, you're an hour late.
I said I'm sorry.
Please let me finish.
It's not spoiled at all.
No!
Oh, of course their house looks like that.
I know.
I'd like it if you had a date. You should have dates at your age.
Ah, Sarah, you're home. We were worried about
I
you.
can't do anything right.
So there's a lot that just happened.
This is...
Go out every single
And
weekend.
I ask you to babysit only if it won't interfere with your plans.
She does not like having to babysit her baby brother, as is evident.
I suppose that's reasonable. Oh, yeah, I don't like that puppet. You were right. Those are awful.
It gets worse.
I assume it gets worse, yeah?
She's got a lot of various stuffed animals and paraphernalia.
Sarah?
You really wanted to talk to me, didn't you?
Well, yeah, that's why he's knocking on the door, super urgently.
Lancelot! Someone has been in my room again. I hate that.
How much of this movie is just her monologue?
Eventually, she makes puppet friends.
Because she's never speaking to anyone.
I hate you. I hate you!
This baby is like her mortal enemy.
That's depressing.
And the baby was a spoiled child, and he wanted everything for himself.
Okay, no, she can't call anyone else a spoiled child.
She's like, what, 16 or 17? But, like, the baby is, like, a baby. Like,
Right.
The baby genuinely needs, like, somebody to, like, feed it and change the diaper.
God, those spoiled children that want to be taken care of.
She called on the goblins for help.
The puppets are very jarring.
But the girl knew that the king of the goblins would keep the baby in his castle forever and ever and ever and turn it into a goblin.
I'm just thinking about all of the, like, baby crying Foley that they had to put in, like, afterwards.
That's gotta be like a hard job on set. Like, how do we make this child cry so we can record it for this film?
Yeah.
I can bear it no longer.
The thunder kicking up.
Goblin King, wherever you may be, take this child of mine far away from me.
I don't know if you have siblings. I've never been so fed up with my sibling that I wanted to sacrifice them to a goblin king.
I was literally just thinking, this teenager is a complete psychopath.
She needs a serious attitude adjustment.
Like, we're just at the beginning of the movie, and she's just been, like, left at home with her baby sibling. And her, like, first solution is, I'm going to sacrifice them.
Like, she hasn't even tried changing the diaper yet. She hasn't tried anything. Like, that's the first go-to. I don't know what's crazier, the fact that she did it or the fact that it worked.
God. Oh.
I don't like seeing the vague shapes of things and not actually seeing, like, what they are. The owl is just like, wait, let me help you.
I would not interpret that as help.
Yeah, it's fair.
Him, aren't you? You're the Goblin King.
David Bowie is the Goblin King.
It's wild because that's just what David Bowie looks like.
Please bring him back. Please.
Sarah, go back to your room.
He's like, what, this baby? No, you don't need that baby.
I've brought you a gift. It's a crystal. Nothing more.
Have you ever seen those, like, the infomercials during, like, the late 2000s for that ball called a fushigi?
It floats, it levitates, it will confuse the senses with its mind-blowing movements.
Yes!
That's where they got that idea from.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's so funny.
He must be so scared.
Sarah,
They were really, really proud of their practical effects. They were like, it's a ball, now it's a snake, now it's a scarf.
That did not age well.
No.
is there in my castle.
Is that the castle beyond the Goblin City?
Turn back, Sarah.
They just get rid of the house?
Yeah, she's just gone. Some movies suffer from too much exposition, but this movie needed a little more exposition.
It actually did. We're going a lot of places very, very fast.
You have 13 hours in which to solve the labyrinth before your baby brother becomes one of us forever.
And off he goes into the mist. She's just in the woods now.
Doesn't look that hard.
Somehow I doubt that a girl who was, like, yelling, like, trying to sacrifice her little sibling after being left with them for, like, 5 minutes would look at this and say, not that hard.
Yeah, right? Like, it's like, that's not hard, but feeding a baby is. Was he peeing?
I think so.
I don't remember that.
That was pretty surprising.
You monster.
You monster immediately drops it.
59.
Is 59 like his kill count?
I guess so.
Oh my god.
He's like exterminating them like they're bugs.
Just a casual genocide going on.
Horrifying.
How do I get into the labyrinth?
How convenient.
Very convenient.
Josie, isn't it?
He's just here for the drama.
Thanks for nothing, Hogwarts.
Did she called him Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Is that the school from,
Harry Potter, yeah.
is this where that came from?
I don't know. It's a full 11 years before Harry Potter, like even the first book. So it's just like,
Interesting.
yeah. I was envisioning like the PAs that had to set out like all the different like branches on the ground.
You take too many things for granted.
It just goes on and on. Maybe I'm just taking it for granted that it does.
Wow, she learns so fast.
And then she gives up really quickly. Staying home and babysitting would have been so much easier than this.
It really would have.
No, I said hello, but that's close enough.
Oh, that is not cute.
It looks like a little tiny Jabba the Hutt.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like, actually, yeah.
Come inside and have a nice cup of tea.
To the tiny little hole?
I was thinking the same thing, like, what is the entrance of this worm creature's house like?
You can't take anything for granted.
But we just talked about this.
Hey, hang on!
What?
It was an optical illusion.
Why do I feel so cheated?
Thank you. That was incredibly helpful.
I love how everybody gives her, like, pseudo-help.
Yeah.
Toby.
How can she possibly hear?
I don't know. This poor baby must be traumatized.
Yeah, I feel like that kid grew up and he's still not okay.
Babe with the power. Power of voodoo. You do.
I like that this musical number is literally, they were like, hey, we'll put David Bowie in a room with a bunch of Muppets and chickens, and he can figure the rest out for himself.
What kind of magic spell to use? Slide that.
We are only 20 minutes in, and I've seen you have an existential crisis like twice already.
I can't, like, I'm so stressed out. Like, I can't even put it in words. That is actually, I kind of like that.
It does make me laugh, yeah.
That was pretty cool. It was a clever creative element that they did.
In 9 hours and 23 minutes, you'll be mine.
Not ominous at all.
I don't like the way that sounded at all.
I like that we don't know why, but the Goblin King just really, really wants to abduct this baby and torment this teenager. Like,
Yeah, there's no context clues whatsoever. He just showed up, got rid of her house, and then showed her a castle, and now she's on an adventure.
it's so unsettling.
Dance, magic dance.
Just the throwing of the baby in the air is always funny.
Well, the only way out of here is to try one of these doors. One of them leads to the castle at the center of the labyrinth, and the other one leads to certain death.
I like how some of the puppets are hype mans for the other puppets.
Good support team.
You can only ask one of us. One of us always tells the truth, and one of us always lies.
Isn't that like a very classic riddle?
Would he tell me that this door leads to the castle?
Yes?
The other door leads to the castle, and this door leads to certain death. I think I'm getting smarter.
I think I'm...
I think I'm getting smarter falls into a hole.
Oh, that's awful. I hate that.
This scene, I'm not like a particularly claustrophobic person, but the only feeling I can say that I have is claustrophobia right now.
I'm like uncomfortable in my own skin at the moment.
What do you mean, hell?
I feel like I need to put distance between me and the screen.
If there is a hell, it looks exactly like this.
It's this.
Would you like us to let go?
Oh my god.
She's in the oubliette.
The Goblin King's like, I really owned that teenage child.
This is an oubliette. It's a place to put people to forget about them.
That's kind of terrifying.
It's a big dungeon hole in the ground.
If you help me solve the labyrinth, I'll give you this.
What is that, anyway?
Plastic.
I was gonna say, she's bribing him with like a very like tacky 80s bracelet.
If this goblin seen like the inside of a Walmart, he would just explode.
Did you watch Zaboomafoo as a kid?
That sounds very, very familiar.
They always had like that one closet that they would open and everything would fall out on them, and that's all I just thought about.
Yes, that's like a very deep repressed memory somewhere.
Go back while you still can.
I think Return to Oz only came out like a couple years after this movie, and these like big stone faces are very like indicative of this one scene from Return to Oz, and it's just terrifying.
Yeah, they remind me of Do you know the old Nickelodeon game show that's like it's like Double Dare, I think, and they're like putting kids through this terrible obstacle course? Yeah, they have one of those gigantic stone faces that looks just like that.
They did a special episode because I didn't realize they were still making Double Dare until when they did the Super Bowl here in Atlanta. They were like doing a special episode from here, and they had me stand in, so I basically just like ran the course to make sure that like they were like ready with the cameras and stuff, and it was hilarious.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I didn't have to get slimed, which was fun.
I've actually always wanted to be slimed. It's like a childhood dream.
What have we here? Nothing.
Sir?
I told her I was gonna help her solve the labyrinth. A little trickery on my part.
How are you enjoying my labyrinth?
It's not fair.
That is horrifying.
Yeah.
The cleaners!
What?
Run!
I also like that the one puppet is like running away and she's like standing still like, wait, what is it? It's like, I would also run.
Right?
I would ask questions later.
This is horrifying.
Yeah. I like that this murder device is apparently operated by like two people on a big bicycle.
Yeah. And they don't care that they just missed the target completely. I'm just gonna keep going.
I like to think that the Goblin King gives them like, pays them like really low minimum wages and they're like, we don't actually care. Like,
They're like the epitome of that, you know that meme where it's like, hey, I just work here, man?
How can I believe anything you say?
You've got to understand my position. I'm a coward.
you gotta understand my position.
Sheriff scares me.
Jared?
Oh yeah, his name is Jareth.
If you so much as put a foot in the bog of stench, you'll smell bad for the rest of your life.
That's like extremely inconvenient. And I like how they've gone from nearly being murdered by this man to just like a major inconvenience.
The stakes are highly inconsistent.
Accused! No, you give them back! Give them back! Give those back!
It's scenes like that where I'm just like, it must have been hilarious, like, actually having to film that scene.
It's not fair!
No, it isn't. But that's the way it is.
Character development. Oh, I hate that.
I thought you meant character development was what you hated, and then I saw
Oh no.
the ostrich on stilts.
Oh, young girl.
Oh, there's another face. It's terrifying.
I want to meet the people who like did the costume design for this.
Yeah, it's actually like a lot of work went into like the costumes and the puppetry. I'm just terrified of it.
I can tell, yeah. I don't doubt they worked very hard on it, but I just feel like there's some element of derangement.
I'm certainly not getting anywhere at the moment.
Join the club.
Relatable.
Yep.
Don't you dare! Them's mine!
Them's mine.
You may not be much for a friend, but you're the only friend I've got in this place.
Damn.
She needs higher standards.
Yeah.
I ain't never been no one's friend before.
Well, that's so depressing.
I feel like there's a jump scare coming.
I'm pretty sure one of them just called another one a hippie.
I think I heard that too, yeah. Oh.
Oh, poor thing. She's got fantastic aim.
She really does.
This is pure chaos.
Now stop that. Is that any way to treat someone who's trying to help you?
What?
She was complaining about literally everything, and this creature that's hung upside down by his ankles, she's just like, stop complaining, it's fine.
He was being tortured by like random like biting puppet animals. She's like, hey, you need to calm down.
I have to get to the castle at the center of the labyrinth. Do you know the way?
Ludo's been through a lot already.
Which should we choose out of these two ugly characters?
Mean.
Definitely, yeah.
Just drag him while you're there. So horrible.
You're a wonderful conversational companion.
You can talk, all you do is moan.
I'm sure one of them having their ears covered and the other having their mouth full is like a metaphor for something, but I'm not getting it.
Yeah, the other one has it like stuck through his ears. That's gotta be more uncomfortable, right?
I don't want
want that thing back in my mouth.
Come on, I want to knock.
Can't she just knock without putting it in his mouth? Okay.
Absolutely ruthless.
Well, he's a lively little chap. I think I'll call him Jareth. He's got my eyes.
Jareth Jr., this baby that I have stolen.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Every time this girl gets confident, somebody falls into a hole.
That is a pattern.
But, I just hears it now.
She's screaming for help in the background.
Well, if it isn't you.
I'm confused as to Jareth's ability to, like, teleport, I guess?
Yeah, I was wondering about that same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he just teleports because he shows up at all places at all times.
I need, like, backstory so that I can properly power scale this person. Are they just, like, all powerful? Why is this omnipotent being trying to take out a teenager and a baby?
Yeah, it's like he has the, like, time and reality stones. Like, he's just, like, bending reality around them.
Like, why is mid-tier Thanos just concerned with, like, teenage American humans? Yeah! This is an elaborate 1980s, like, Reagan-era commercial to convince kids not to do hard drugs.
Yeah.
That's what we're actually watching. Did the camera get much worse all of a sudden?
When it zooms out, I think they're, like, completely on a green screen. I think that's what's happening.
Okay.
'Cause, like, you can see, like, the bad tracking around them, like, around the fur. There's also just something about all Muppets where when you can see their legs,
It's bad.
it's disconcerting. Oh, God.
All of this is very upsetting to me. I never understood the fear until right now.
I feel like I'm watching you develop a fear of puppets, like, in real time. I feel like the heads being attachable was a very unnecessary feature.
Absolutely. I thought it was a little much when they came on screen and they had like full skinny legs and then they started taking the legs off and I was like, all right, this is actually somehow harder to watch than the Avatar Last Airbender live action movie.
Really? We found it. Yeah, honestly, why didn't she think of that sooner?
She was distracted, rightfully so.
Can't torment you when you don't have a head.
Take off your ears!
The heads can fly?
Another hole!
It's the third hole they've fallen into.
This should be a drinking game where you just have to take a shot every time someone falls.
Have you ever seen It's a Skit by Tom Scott where he's like, in the hole?
What is that?
There's a hole.
Yeah, I can see that. What's it doing there?
Well, I woke up this morning. Then there was a hole.
What is that? In the hole?
I haven't.
I'll have to link it under this video because it's very funny and that's all I'm thinking about. I don't like the sound effect. There was a ledge right there?
Okay, no. They were afraid of falling right there. There shouldn't be a ledge on the ground. It doesn't make any sense.
It's only like, you know, I mean, it wouldn't be a pleasant jump, but you could jump down to safety.
Oh my god.
Everything about this is upsetting.
This is deeply, deeply upsetting.
You're gonna, like, be having nightmares tonight and just, like, cursing my name. Just, like, why?
Oh, definitely. I'm dreading going to sleep for, like, the rest of my life because I'm gonna have to relive this movie.
I'm so sorry.
Stop! Without my permission, no one may cross.
I like Shakespeare Fox. I don't know what his real name is, but I call him Shakespeare Fox.
I also kind of like, this is the first puppet that I don't hate.
I'm sworn to do my duty.
Aggression.
He's very feisty. Just hit him right in the knee.
He's so violent.
I feel so bad for Ludo. He's been through so much.
He really has. If anyone should be complaining about their circumstances, it's that one. Did he kill it?
Before this day, never have I met my match in battle.
How many people do you think this little fox creature is just murdered trying to get across this bridge?
Like high 20s at least.
This bridge has lasted for 1,000 years.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't need to defend the bridge. I think no one's getting across the bridge anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It's not so much of a bridge as it is just a board.
He summons rocks?
Yeah, a Dos Ex Rockida. Just a very convenient rock.
Rock's friends.
Okay.
Rocks are friends.
Better explanation than we've gotten for most of this.
You just kind of go numb to it at a certain point.
Attaboy.
They just had the dog this entire time?
I'm so deeply confused.
I don't remember half of this.
He's so well trained, too.
He's a very good boy.
Go.
He put a saddle on the dog.
Wait, isn't that her dog?
Yeah.
Do I remember this wrong?
Let's get out of here.
She doesn't even care? What?
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
See, because, like, couldn't Jareth have just stopped her himself at any point?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, does he have some sort of oath where he can't interact? Because, I mean, he seems pretty powerful.
So much trouble over such a little thing, but not for long.
I see a lot of posts that are like, oh, David Bowie's so cute with that baby. It's like, yes, I see that. It's also, canonically in universe, he stole this baby.
I don't think I'd call that cute.
He kidnapped this child.
It's kind of like how Beauty and the Beast were, like, cute couple, when in reality she just has, like, Stockholm Syndrome and is, like, suffering from a mental illness, and we're all just like, wow, goals.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine.
Thank you.
Damn you, Jared.
Little out of place.
I didn't know that they swore.
So it's like a poison apple, I'm assuming?
I guess so.
This is definitely anti-drug propaganda.
I was just gonna say, like, if everything up until this point was pre-drug trip, then I don't want to know. I like that it's like this lucid dream of a masquerade ball.
Do the masks resemble the, like, creatures from, like, that she's encountered so far?
Probably.
Okay, that would make sense.
Such as new dreams, a love that will last.
He's just like stalking down.
Very creepy.
He's got a very deep fixation on this girl.
That is the most uncomfortable eye contact I have ever seen in any movie ever.
Yep.
But I'll be there for you.
Oh no.
I don't like this.
This is bad. I don't like this at all.
No.
This is not the turn I was wanting the movie to take.
Also, just logistically, she's in a dream. Is he, like, able to, like, infiltrate her brain, too?
That makes it a lot worse in a way.
The more you stop and think about, like, the logistics of this movie as a whole, the more questions you come away having.
I need someone to do a deep dive into how powerful Jareth is, because I feel like he's like Thanos level threat for sure.
Yeah, there's probably so much that could go into, like, a multiple hour video essay on, like, all the symbolism and the world building, and I just don't have the brain power for that right now.
She'll never forgive me.
After you poisoned her, maybe not.
I've lost my only friend.
But you said you weren't friends, and then you poisoned her.
Why don't you look where you're going, young woman?
I was looking.
I just thought you were actual trash. Harsh. It's bothering me that she's on her bed with her shoes on. I know that's not the point. There's like a million other things to be bothered by right now, but still.
Yeah, I feel that. Plus those shoes have been a lot of places today that you probably don't want in the bed.
Like the pit of eternal stench.
Yes, there you go. Ooh, there's Betsy Boo. You remember Betsy Boo, don't you? Yes, yes.
That is the most annoying creature on earth.
She's like, I don't need to buy this from you. This is my stuff.
Like, this woman is having like a nervous breakdown and she's just like, hey, I'll sell you your teddy bear.
It's all junk.
Huh? I have to save Toby!
Very aggressive character development.
Let's go quickly. We don't have much time.
No.
He's so conflicted. I like the feisty little fox thing barking at everybody. The dog is the only one that has the sense to, like, hide behind something.
Get out of there! I'm not asking to be forgiven. I ain't ashamed of nothing I did.
It's, like, worse than a YouTuber apology. It's like, I'm not sorry. I would do it again.
Oh, God. So true.
They've got through the gates and they're on their way to the castle. Stop her.
I like that he doesn't put down the baby before he starts, like, sending people into, like, a violent siege.
He's got his priorities straight. I like how the fox is just, like, born for this.
Yeah, he's been waiting for this moment his entire life. It's like I always talk about. There's so many moments where it's like characters just don't have peripheral vision, apparently.
If you don't turn around this second, I will never feed you again.
Oh. He's going to starve you to death.
Harsh. Oh, God.
Ew. I hate the design of the inside of its mouth.
I was just gonna say there's way too much detail on the inside of the puppet mouth.
How's Ludo gonna get in?
That works. Oh, I guess whoever lives there is just kind of screwed.
Did you see that little flying pterodactyl thingy in the background?
Yeah.
It looked like one of the monkeys from, like, The Wizard of Oz.
As a little kid, the flying monkeys terrified me.
They're horrifying. Is he summoning more rocks?
I hope so.
Oh my god, what?
Oh my god. I thought they were gonna, like, rain down upon them.
I did too.
But hey, whatever works.
I love how they're just all so defeated by this.
Yeah.
Like, there's not that many of them.
It's like bowling pins.
I've had enough. I'm going to bed.
I'm with that guy.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem.
Oh, it was alive.
Keyword was.
I have to face him alone.
But why?
Because that's the way it's done.
Well,
They're so accepting.
I mean, I feel like you should try to take some backup in if you can.
Yeah, I feel like they should have pushed back a bit more. Especially, like, how hostile that fox has been the whole time.
Yeah. This I remember very vividly because this set, like, hurts my brain to look at.
Dude, same.
I'm not sure we want to pay for a dimension we're not going to use.
Everything I've done for you.
Don't say that, it makes it worse.
It does. Very hand-eye coordinate baby.
Yeah. Also, that thing was glass. How did it not break?
Yeah, that too.
I feel like Jareth needs to baby-proof this room if he's trying to keep this baby.
Definitely.
Give me the child.
Sarah, beware.
This is a weird outfit change.
Yeah.
You asked that the child be taken. I took him.
Weird argument.
Was he the owl?
Was he? I actually don't remember.
The owl was white and very feathery with like, he could definitely be the owl.
Yeah, he's done crazier things.
The owl was the thing that she was complaining to.
Look what I'm offering you.
There's nothing in it, though.
It's a metaphor. It's empty like our dreams.
Just let me rule you. Love me. I will be your slave.
I don't like any of that.
This is escalating in a really bad way. There are a lot of overlay effects in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes the owl.
He is the owl. Poor kid.
He's been through a lot.
Sarah, are you home?
The dad's voice reminds me of Timmy Turner's dad's voice.
I was trying to figure out that exact same thing. It so does.
Should you need us? Yes. Should you need us?
She can't unsee what she has seen. It'll haunt her for the rest of her life. It's just like a Muppet Rager.
I guess this is what like mosh pits were like in the 80s.
And the owl just flies away. And that's the end.
That was a movie.
That was a movie. It was a very 80s movie. So final thought.
It honestly was very, very fun, I'll say. It was deeply terrifying.
Yep.
Kind of a trip through hell for a good portion of it, I'd say. But I don't know, I had a good time. In the end, that's all I can ask of a movie.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a very fair assessment.
What were your favorite parts?
I love Shakespeare Fox. It's not his name, but I love him.
Shakespeare Fox was pretty cool.
I do like David Bowie as the bad guy. I wish he wasn't, like, low-key hitting on a teenager through, like, the second half of it.
Me too. The dancing scene was so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the lyrics that he hit her with at the end of the movie is like, "I'll be your slave." It's like, huh.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those things that's just like quintessentially 80s.
Yeah, definitely.
Like from top to bottom, like the music, the practical effects.
No part of it aged well.
I do think that like they did a really good job like with the puppetry. I just am terrified of the actual puppets.
I can agree with that one. The puppetry is very good. The actual puppet design is straight out of someone's nightmare.
Yeah.
Like that has to be the creative inspiration. It's just somebody had a lot of nightmares and they were like, I'm gonna give this to someone else.
It's somebody else's problem now. Yeah, I feel like when I close my eyes, I'm just gonna like see the puppets forever.
The thing that they fell into where there was like all the hands.
Yeah.
Like that is the most uncomfortable thing. Like just thinking about it,
I just have like a visceral reaction every time I see that scene.
Like it makes me need to shower.
It's just horrifying. I feel like the walls are caving in around me. I hope you had fun. I hope you still talk to me now that I've exposed you to this movie.
I mean, we made it through the last Airbender, so we're good now.
Yeah, just a traumatic experience. Where can people find you when they want to see more of your content?
They can find me at youtube.com/Curious Tangents, and I suppose at Twitter at Travis Gilbert.
Nice. I will link everything so that everybody can find you, and this has been really fun. Thank you for coming back on the channel.
Oh, thanks for having me again.
Always fun to have people on to just show them nightmare fuel. Always fun to have you on the channel, so thank you very much.
I think that concludes it. A lot has been said.
I think that's all that we can say.
Now it's time to leave and check into therapy.
We did it!